As an entrepreneur, I have always asked the question, where are my leads coming from? Do I do cold email campaigns? Am I cold calling? Am I going to networking events every other Thursday? This was a question I always used to ask. And over my years of learning what really sticks was when I learned that personal branding and content has truly moved the needle for me in terms of acquiring new clients, acquiring new sales, and really making a name for myself within my industry. Now, so many times entrepreneurs, they get caught up in this fluff, conversion rates and cold email open rates and all these fancy ways to grow and scale a business, even throwing thousands of dollars on ads. And I've been guilty of that myself. And I'm here today to show you that content is the future of lead generation in business and exactly how we're going to dive into that today. So I got lots of good content coming up. This is going to be a quick 12-minute episodes. They're always 12 minutes to 13 minutes. Now, let's get right into it. Why does content and personal branding work in this day and age? I want you to ask yourself right now, how many times as a business owner are you getting the phone and picking it up and getting someone calling you saying, hey, we're doing X, Y, and Z. How about we do business together? How many times as soon as you pick up the phone and you understand it's a cold call, do you immediately change tone? Oh, what's up? Blah, blah, blah. I'm not interested. Hang up. Imagine now you're doing that on the flip side though. And especially in the email inboxes. How many times are you looking at emails from senders that you don't know with these really templatized emails that you can tell are maybe ChatGPT'd or they're just copying and pasting? That's why content is so crucial. It's the exact same way that you're talking to me right now and I'm holding your attention. You have no idea who I am, or maybe you do, but as you're in going through this content today, we're slowly going to build more rapport. I'm slowly going to showcase my expertise and my perspective and opinions, and it's going to craft some more personalization to our relationship, even if we don't know each other just yet. So that's why I'm encouraging you today, as we're going through the content, keep your mind open to how content can truly turn your followers into dollars, aka the name of this podcast. So first things first, so many entrepreneurs I know struggle with creating consistent, high quality content. I see them sometimes 4 or 5 posts, they're doing great, and all of a sudden they taper off. Me personally, I have struggled with this myself. Do you know how many times I go, oh, I'm so motivated and I'm energized, I'm gonna make all this content, and then the next week I totally lose the ball. I totally drop it. Creating content is a lot of work, absolutely. But my point today is how we're going to make it more sustainable and relatable to your audience so you can do it consistently. And that way, showing up top of mind all the time for your consumers will allow for easier conversions. So the biggest thing I find with entrepreneurs, we're so busy. We have sales calls, we got door-to-door to do, we got managing employees, we're doing strategy. There's so much going on. The last thing on your mind you want to do is focus on crafting all this content and creating and generating all this content. But what if you were able to do it in a sustainable way? And that's where personal branding really comes in to share the spotlight. Because as you're crafting your own personal brand, you're sharing your unique stories, your expertise in a way that's very authentic. And I had a conversation with one of the guys at my networking event the other night, and he said authentic is thrown around way too casually nowadays. Even though it's authentic, it may come across as polished and canned. So what I'm talking about with authenticity is truly showcasing your story and your struggles as a founder or your wins as a founder, what you're doing for your clients, what your biggest wins are, what you love doing about the job the most. And as you slowly start to craft that, people really start to resonate with you over a competitor because you're now more relatable. You're more of a human than just another brand that they see all over the Instagram feeds or all over their advertising feeds that they get all day. So it's really important to understand that you're struggling with consistency, quality, and authenticity, and how we're going to shift that into a sustainable paradigm. Now, the thing with consistent, high quality content I find with most entrepreneurs is they think content doesn't work for them because they're not being consistent. They come to me, I once had a client come to me saying, hey, I'm not getting any leads from my followers. I post online and nothing happens. Like, it gets no views, it gets no engagement. So I say, okay, let's diagnose the situation. Let's take a look at what you're posting. And he's posting content of him at the beach with an inspirational quote. Every now and then he'll post a listing that he has, and then it's very inconsistent, it's very scattered, and it's not even tailored to the niche that he's trying to target. So when we're talking about consistent quality content, the fact that you're just showing up sometimes, even just 3 times a week on the timeline in front of your followers, it allows you to stay top of mind for them, and then it allows them to pick you over a competitor because they're seeing you much more frequently. The fact that I'm able to post 5 times a week allows me to always be in front of my audience, reminding them about what I do and how I can genuinely help them, and how I've helped others exactly like them in their exact situation. So consistency number 1, if you are showing up consistently, you're doing 50% of the battle, in my opinion. Most people say content doesn't work for them, but they tried it, maybe even for 30 days, it doesn't work. Content is like SEO. It takes a while to build the authority. It takes lots of time to generate trust. And the best part is you're creating all these different touch points before a customer can come to you to buy. I'll give you a great example. Most clients will come to me saying they've watched my podcast, they've watched my content, they've engaged with my social media feeds, and then they do all that before they book a call. Now let's take two scenarios. Let's say I get an inbound client from that with all those different touch points versus one that's just coming in from a cold DM. The one from the cold DM knows absolutely nothing about me. They have never spoken to me. They don't know anything about my business. And that's what the point of the call is, to educate them on what we do. Versus having someone come to me seeing my podcast, my content. They've built rapport with me over like the last 3 months because they feel like they know me and my story. Which one of those is more likely to convert? Now, granted, you can be a fantastic salesperson and close that guy that just came in from a cold lead. However, if you have all of your content continually up there as a beautiful digital asset, continually working for you while you're making deals or you're on the beach vacationing, that's warming up your prospect before they get on the call because they're almost like 80% ready to buy at that point. You've educated them on your services, how you've helped people, what you have done, and they're showing up already knowing all that information. All you got to do is show up to the call, properly diagnose their situation, listen and empathize with them, and say, hey, here's what we can do for you. We've done this for X, Y, and Z. What do you say? So the consistency in staying top of mind allows them to be reminded of you. And number two, consistently warming up your audience. So when they do get on a call or a demo call or whatever that is, you're able to close them consistently. Now let's get into the overcoming, like I like to call them, shit thoughts. Thoughts that are holding you back for absolutely no reason around content and making money from your followers. I hear this all the time. I got the big 3 listed down right now. If you're an entrepreneur and you say these 3 things, I want you to listen closely. I don't have time to post daily and I have no idea what to say and I'm not getting any engagement. This doesn't work for me. I got 2 words for you. I resonate. I empathize. I've been in that exact same situation. I've spent sometimes an hour on a video and I post it and it gets 100 views. And here I am kicking myself going, man, maybe I'm just not cut out. I'm not cut for this cloth. Like entrepreneurship isn't for me. But then I realized, I go, that's a very limiting belief. That's a very limiting thought because we're not even giving ourselves the benefit of the doubt to continue to show up. So if you're somebody who says, I don't have time to post content and it's not working for me, I don't know what to say, let's get into each of these and how we can solve them, okay? I don't have time. Nobody has time. Nobody has time for anything. If you live in the West, if you're an entrepreneur, I guarantee you don't have time. They're always busy. They maybe have 5 minutes for a call. Maybe they don't. So what I have truly found works wonders for me, because I barely have time to eat lunch sometimes. I created content systems. I created a cohesive brand and I created a cohesive structure for my content. And what I mean by that is I'm not just regularly posting content hoping for a catch. That's like throwing out a fishing rod into the middle of the ocean without any worm and saying, I hope something bites. When you have a content system, and this is something we help our clients with all the time, you're able to show up to a shoot, rizz off like 3 to 5 different thought leadership perspectives and videos, and you're able to create content that looks the same, sounds the same, has the same structure, and allows you to connect with your audience on a consistent basis. It's doing all the heavy lifting for you. And I want you to put a pin in this right now. It's not limiting your creativity because you have to do X, Y, and Z. It actually enhances it because now you're able to remove all of the administrative fluff of creating all the different structure and storyboards and all this and that. You have a nice template for what works for your audience as well as what's going to work for you and your brand. And then you copy and paste every week. And then you can tweak, you can iterate. Of course, you get better at it. But when you have the system already simplified and already laid out, that allows you to show up consistently in the snap of a fingers. And all you got to do is sit down a couple times a week. So streamlining that, having systems in place, that's huge for what you can do. Now, let's say you don't know what to say. I hear this all the time with people. I have no idea what to post. I have no idea what to do. Think back to your ideal client and what they're struggling with. You work with these people on a daily basis. Shift their perspective and the paradigm in the same way that I'm shifting your paradigm right now. I'm not saying that I don't know what to post for people who want to grow their following, monetize their audience, and build their personal brand. I know exactly what you struggle with because I was once in your shoes. I didn't know what to say. I had no idea what to do. I didn't know what type of content to post. So everything that I've learned over the years, I just regurgitate back to you as if it's my past self and then shift your perspective to put you in a different train of thought. So think about your industry. Are you in crypto, finance? Are you in real estate? Are you in wellness? What do your current clients struggle with all the time? How can you shift their perspective around that? And how can you tailor content like that? If you're having conversations on a daily basis with your clients, those are great content pieces. Mark that down in your mind and think about how you can translate that into just pulling out your phone and getting it to record. All right. Now let's get into I'm not getting enough engagement. This is my favorite one. I want people to remove the vanity metrics from their social media. If you got 100 views on your post, but it brought in 4 sales at 20K a pop, would you really care if you got 100 views? I wouldn't. If it's bringing in 20K, give me 4 views. Give me those 4 views that convert. I don't care about a million views if it's not bringing you any traffic to your website or to your lead magnets or to your offers. Removing the vanity metrics as an entrepreneur around your content really lets you understand that you are in the business of helping people. You're not in the business of being famous. Leave the fame and all that to the unboxing influencers and the people who do the get readies with me. That's not designed for you. Your content is designed to convert. So if you're getting 300 to 500 views per reel, but hey, you're getting 1 to 2 book demos from each of those reels, that's free leads coming into you already warm. So removing those vanity metrics really helps you remove that limiting belief like, oh my gosh, content isn't working for me. If you had a 100-person talk, if I invited 100 people into your office so you can give them 60 seconds of knowledge and then give them a clear call to action at the end of it, how many do you think can convert? I would bet most of you would be nervous talking to 100 people, let alone 10. So removing those vanity metrics will really work wonders for you in terms of staying consistent with that progress and content. Now, I know we're coming up on 11 minutes here, so let's wrap up really quickly here. The sustainable way to do content is one that speaks to your personal brand, allows you to showcase your expertise, and is really specified to your industry. When you're doing this, it really allows you to streamline that process and connect with your audience in a way that's authentic, not the BS authentic way, but the real authentic way, and allows them to come in, stay top of mind, and warm them up through the entirety of your social feeds. Whether that's Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, whatever it is, I'm on everything as I believe most entrepreneurs should be. So if you've liked what you've had today or you've heard today, I want you to stick around because I've given you my free personal branding guideline ebook. It's an 8-page document. I give you my step-by-step framework. Just take a look in that link below wherever you're listening to this too. I'm going to link it. There is a beautiful amount of information in there, some of my biggest failures, learnings, and struggles, and I tell you exactly how to solve them. It's absolutely free. Click the link in the show notes below, and I want you to stay tuned for our next episode where we're going to keep building on this topic and diving into other areas on how to build your personal brand, monetize your audience, and really stay consistent with your personal brand. I'll see you in the next episode.